So this is going to be one of the weirdest things I probably do for a video. It's probably not going to make a lot of sense, but yeah, I am pretty much writing on this as we go along. Hey, I wanted to sort of talk about my research a little bit, but I know it's sort of hard to explain, and it's probably not a lot of fun for a lot of people, so I thought every now and then I'd do one of these, more, should we say technical videos? But, what I've been reading is a lot of Neil Cohn's work on the visual language of comics as part of my research. And there's this really fun part where they discuss basically the layout of a comic and how the gutter has different names. For anyone who doesn't know, the gutter is this bit in between panels. So it's literally just in between panels. But how comics are sort of laid out, it gives a different name to each of these areas. And I thought this would be a kind of fun thing just to quickly do, just because I want to talk about it. I'm bored. So there's a couple of examples. I'm not going to go over them. I'm not going to go over the bleed, just because that's kind of obvious when there's a large space between the panel and the edge of the page. It's called the bleed. But I do want to talk about the pure grid, the horizontal and vertical staggering, a whole row, an insert, an overlap, and a separation, and blockage. And I used a couple of examples. This is Doomsday Clock, number 1. And what we have here is basically a pure grid. So it's pure grid. Because each thing there is equal. These are all equal to each other. Typically, Cohen states that most grids are 2x3, which in this case, the small area is 2x3. I know that seems really stupid, but I've got a tablet in front of me, I'm going to do it. Now, this would be a whole row if this was all one panel. I don't know if I chucked in an example that's actually a whole panel now that I think about it, but you never know. Then we have something like this. This would be a whole panel. So this is a whole panel. And I picked this page because, well, it could be read a number of ways. So this panel here, the one with Batman saying excited and Robin, not in the least, overlays the main image on the page, which we could consider like a meta panel because it takes up the entire page. But it could also be read as being the massive separation between these two. So this one panel here, which I've now drawn over, and I feel like I should give Batman a mustache if I'm going to do that, could be read as a whole panel, or a whole row. Sorry, there should be a whole row. It could be read as an overlay, because it overlays this big image here, or it can be part of a separation, because technically speaking, there is a giant gap between here, with this grid, and here. This is why I found this page really fascinating. It's like a small detail, but we can assign so many things to it. I think this is my last example, but it has one of the weirdest examples, because this is called a vertical stagnation. Staggering. It's called vertical staggering, where if you were to run across here, you suddenly have like a stop here, but if he carries on vertically up, you've got the rest of the gutter there. This is vertical stagnation. And this is horizontal stagnation, because the same thing is true this way. I think that's my last example. It is. And I know I forgot one. So if I'm going to go back... Yes, here. This bit here is called blockage. It's called blockage because this can't run any further up. So, blockage. Welcome to what I do all day when I am bored. Here's my fun diagram. You'll notice this bit the insert. Technically, that one with here, we could also label an insert. But you can see how these different names for comics, or panel borders rather, can be done in multiple different ways. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I know I'm stupid and drawing stupid things. I don't know if I'm going to edit this out. If I don't edit this out, then you get a random Robin drawing. I actually haven't drawn Robin in like a long time, so this is just really weird for me. He's got spiky hair, so there we go. Spiky Robin. There we go. Yeah, that's stupid. Sorry, this is my dumb evening.